Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam, and I'm outside on a walk with Mr. Indiana Bones. It's our afternoon dog walk, and I'm out thinking about my second heart. Yeah, as I choose different paths to, consider time, consider the weather, chance it could get rained on. I'm thinking about terrain because my second heart, so it's referred to as, those are our calves. All right, so we know that walking or any form of cardiovascular exercise really does boost your strength heart, improves your cardiovascular system, the exchange of oxygen, all right, as your muscles are working. So you want to eliminate the byproduct of muscle use, and you want to increase the efficiency through exercise of how quickly your organs and your muscles get oxygen. So the heart as a muscle brings in used blood, pumps out fresh oxygenated blood. Well, for those of us who might not be as active as we could be, and for those of us who might have, other health challenges that would make mobility an issue, without the ability to be mobile and especially use our lower body, we're not activating that second heart, our calves. So by choosing terrain, by going uphill and going downhill, just that slight flex of my toes being up and my heels being down really engages my calf muscle. So I'm known for my calves. After 20 years of rock climbing, ice climbing, tree climbing, which is really just rope climbing, but climbing a rope that's connected through the union in a tree. My calves have had their fair share of workouts, right? And if you've ever been rock climbing, indoors or outdoors, you know novice climbers, they get what they call sewing pedal leg, right? That's where you're engaging, muscles that aren't normally used in everyday life. So, if I'm thinking about, those aspects of improving my health through low impact exercises like walking, which is a daily habit, I can make choices around navigating terrain to engage different muscle groups. So when it is safe and when I've got the space to do it, I'll walk backwards. Very different muscles, knees, core, but it also engages our brain differently. So I'll get a different workout, again, if it's safe, when I can, I'll walk backwards. And interval walking, right? So I'll walk at a slow, comfortable pace, like with effort to slow down for a couple of minutes. And then I will switch gears and maybe double, if not triple, my pace, right? I don't want to break stride or not be considered walking, but I will definitely move more briskly for another couple moments or minutes, and then repeat that slow walk, fast walk in 4 or 5 intervals, right? Which could account for 15, 20 minutes on a walk, and that's interval walking. So again, engaging different muscle groups and challenging and adding some variety to my cardiovascular training, right? And we know that as people train for running, for example, right? Like the best way to build that is through intervals, right? So maybe, if you're in a running down the street or running, like on a trail, you'll use lampposts or landmarks. I'm going to run to the next street lamp and then walk the next one. Then I'll run the next two, then I'll walk the next two, right? So interval training has been around for a very long time. And, as long as you can keep count, use a watch, interval walking does great things. But the act of walking, moving your legs, really helps engage the calf muscle, and that just really strong calf muscles, like a second heart, just push use blood back up, right? And get it more quickly to the heart. So one thing to have a strong heart, it's another to have strong calves, right? It completes the overall circuit. And for those of us who might not get the ability to think about that or have the opportunity to engage and add variety to our walking habit, it's a missed opportunity. So when I can, I'll make efforts. Now, when I shoot these videos, it's normally toward the end of my dog walk, which accounts for the consistency of the timing. What I normally never do is start the video from my house as I walk up, because I'm down in a river valley. My house is on the river, and where I spend most of my walks with the dog is across the road in a hardwood stand. So I am now at the top of that hardwood stand, and down below you can see the river valley. It is an aggressive and sometimes steep climb. In fact, my family does not take the path I take to come up the hill because they say it's too direct. It winds them. They have to stop halfway and catch their breath. So they like taking an alternate path where there are switchbacks back and forth, back and forth. I personally like to start my walk with that charge up the hill. And honestly, I'm covering 400 meters of distance, but I'm climbing about 100 meters in altitude. I know that because I've got some very tall trees in my yard. I've got a spruce I've measured it. It's about 90 feet, right? So I think I might have used metric earlier. Ugh. So 100 feet up and about 400 feet across. So it's a nice incline, right? So not meters. That would make it 3 times. That's crazy. Yeah. So when I'm up here at the top of my hill and I'm looking at my property directly in front of me, the top of that spruce, which towers above everything else in my yard, that top is not there. So I know that it's below the tree line. And when I get up here at the top of the tree line, most of the trees are 60 to 80 feet, right? Full grown at their top. And most of the trees down in the river valley, they have the same growth pattern, the same age. So, yeah, and they are significantly lower. That's just my brain doing some rough estimates. So yeah, it's a steep incline, and I do feel it in my calves, right? Even walking downhill, different muscle groups, mostly in my knees, in my hips. So if I'm aware and being conscious about my posture, yeah, footwork is very key. And on the choice of footwork, your choice of footwear might be a factor in that as well. Obviously, seasonal considerations in mind, I'll move to a winter hiker once the snow falls, and when it's raining, I'll wear something different. But I do like to be outside in this time of year in what is known as a barefoot walking shoe or barefoot walking hiker. So what it is, it just has a thin footbed. It doesn't have what we would see as as a heel, right? So it's pretty flat. In fact, there's enough rubber there to protect my foot, but it's just a couple millimeters, just enough to provide a tread. But it's the toe bed that is designed differently. So it's got a wider toe bed than you might see in another footwear, which allows the skeleton of my foot to be fully engaged. So by wearing a different style of shoe, allowing my foot to move differently, I'm engaging different muscle groups. And of course, that transfers through my ankle, through my calves, through my shins, through my knees, right? Quads and hams, through my glutes, my lower back, right? My engages my core very differently. And then when you have those considerations, moving uphill and downhill, yeah, I'm working on my second heart. Really feel it when I'm going uphill. But there are some different muscle groups. Now, if you're at work, I personally have a desk and I have a stand-up desk, and I'll make a point of having just a chunk of 2x4, and so I can stand there with my toes up, keeping my heels down, or I can go the other way and put that piece of lumber under my heels, and just so throughout the day, right, I can engage my legs differently, so I don't get any stiffness or soreness in my joints. So this is a different place that I would normally record. I normally wait until I'm well on the hill or well down the hill. So here I am, having descended, and I'm still not down on my property yet. I probably have another 30 feet decline before I'm finished. So that's been quite a slope, and it will be quite a slope again. I do that twice a day to engage my second heart, my calves. All right. One other thing to consider if you're using walking or if you're doing any sort of cardiovascular training to improve your physical health. All right. So think about your second heart. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Talk to you again soon.